Today on Animal Outtakes,
On Dancer, on Prancer.
Yes.
And we have reindeer.
We do have reindeer.
Everybody gets intrigued with the camel.
there is a connection between hippos and Christmas. We're celebrating the holiday season with a look at some traditional and unusual animals you hear about this time of the year.
I want a hippopotamus.
There you go.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Animal Outtakes. And I also want to say, happy holidays.
You're kidding. We're doing a holiday show? I love Christmas. Why didn't you tell me?
Be careful. He tends to get a little carried away at Christmas.
Why am I not surprised?
Look at me.
Cute, Lou. Very cute.
Wait a minute. We can't do the show like this. There's no decorations. How are you even supposed to know it's the holiday?
Anyway, with Christmas right around the corner, we thought we would take a look at some of the animals that are synonymous with the season. Reindeer.
Reindeer? We're gonna see reindeer? Oh, I love it, love it, love it, love it.
And he hasn't even had his coffee yet.
I'm gonna have it with a candy cane sticking in it. Ooh, do you think it'll snow? We need some snow.
I don't think it's going to snow in Florida, Lou.
Well, you never know.
Also, there was a stable filled with animals on the night Christ was born. We'll introduce you to some of their modern-day descendants.
Ooh, like the little drummer boy?
The little drummer boy wasn't an animal, you nutcase.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of Animal, the drummer from the Muppet Show.
Lou, go deck your halls.
Right.
Oh my goodness, it's snowing. Lou, come see this.
Yeah, I know. I'm friends with the cold miser. We cartoon characters have to stick together.
Well, it's a jolly episode, so grab a mug of hot cocoa and settle in for some Christmas cheer. Oh, Lou, it really is beautiful.
What do sheep, goats, donkeys, and camels have in common? Well, they were all at the Nativity. According to the Bible, Jesus Christ was born in a manger, and Christmas is the celebration of his birth. These days, Christians around the world recreate that moment with living nativity scenes, just like the one at the Tabernacle Church in Sarasota.
In biblical days, they had animals, they had camels, and a lot of shepherds would sleep with their animals and their sheep. So what we try to do is bring as much authenticity to the to the show, and so people really feel like they're there in biblical days.
The Tabernacle's annual Living Nativity production attracts between 6,000 and 8,000 people each year. And Pastor Dwayne Kitchen says the animals are a definite draw.
Is there something about the children seeing the animals and seeing the lots of pictures are taken with the animals? They get to pet them, sometimes they give them carrots and things like that.
But these animals don't live at the church year-round. Most of them belong to Elian Rosaire, owner of Rosaire's Riding Academy.
Well, Elian, thank you for inviting us this wonderful morning to be with the animals that so very long ago went to that manger, didn't they?
Oh, absolutely. And actually, our animals love being a part of it every year. It's been a long time tradition for us to take our animals to the tabernacle and let other people enjoy them.
So we also have goats, and we have sheep, and we have camels, which you're going to show us.
And donkeys.
Oh, and donkeys.
Oh, the donkeys are a very, very important part of the nativity scene.
Yes.
Absolutely.
The donkeys have an important role in the living nativity.
The donkey does walk in with Joseph and Mary.
However, that's not their only relationship to Jesus.
The donkeys all carry the mark of the cross on their back.
Right
they have a
down here.
dorsal stripe that goes down their back and another stripe that goes across their shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one animal that is always popular with the crowds.
Everybody gets intrigued with the camels. It doesn't matter if they're an adult or a small little child, and they love to pet the animals. And so they get up there, even the big camels, they pet the camels. And And they just love to do that, and it's fun watching the adults because I think they love it just as much as the kids.
Elian introduced us to one of her camels, Nomad, as well as Tony, an attention-seeking llama whose descendants were not at the original Nativity.
Can you tell us about these camels?
They are, and they have a long history with human beings. Camels were actually the first ridden animal in the world. People have been riding animals much longer than they have horses. They're intelligent, they're pensive, they think a lot about what's going on around them. You'll see them looking around, they want to see everything, they're very curious, and they're
highly intelligent.
highly intelligent.
The hump. Talk to us about the hump.
Okay, big misconception. Some people think that the hump is filled with water, which is why camels can go many days without a drink. That is absolutely incorrect. The hump is fatty tissue, and you can tell you have a nice healthy camel when they have a good-sized hump.
There are two kinds of camels, dromedary and Bactrian. Dromedary camels, like Noed, have one hump and are native to the deserts and hotter climates. Bactrian camels have two humps and are found in the mountains and the colder regions.
Now, there are places in the world where the two meet, but basically they're made for two different areas of the world.
As much fun as it is to see those animals, Pastor Kitchen says it all comes down to reminding us the reason for the season.
It kind of helps you focus why we have Christmas, what's it about. It's all about Christ and who He is and what He's done. But we just like to really allow people to focus on the very center of why we have Christmas in the first place. So that's the reason we do it.
You can see Nomad and all the other nativity animals at Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary in Sarasota. They are hosting their own living nativity from 12:30 to 4 p.m. on December 20th and the 21st. For more information, visit bigcathabitat.org. And for more information on the Tabernacle Church in Sarasota, visit thetabsarasota.org. The name camel comes from an Arabic word meaning beauty. Their lips are split to help them graze, and in the wild they can eat pretty much anything without injuring their mouths. That coat of theirs actually helps to reflect the sunlight, as well as insulating them from the desert heat. Still ahead on Animal Outtakes.
We're a little too young to be pulling the sleigh right now.
So these are our reindeer in training
Yes.
for the sleigh.
We're talking reindeer and what makes these animals so unique. Plus a new addition to the Lowry Park Zoo that will make you say, "Aw."
Critical Vet Care is guided by the belief that companion animals deserve state-of-the-art medical care and a kind and comforting environment. The courage of our patients, the loyalty of their human families, and the devotion of our referral veterinarians inspire our vision. It is sustained by the contributions of our compassionate, knowledgeable, and dedicated staff, and built upon a strong tradition of providing excellent health care for animals. To learn more, visit us online at www.criticalvetcare.com.
For thousands of years, we've been humans' best friend. You've been through a lot, and we've been right there with you. A dog is part of the family, a confidant, and a friend who always knows how to get into your heart. So what happens to our beloved companions when we can no longer care for them? This is why we've created Dante's Den, an innovative, state-of-the-art facility that will provide care for up to 100 dogs.
Dante's Den is a community for joyful dogs.
Millions of Americans face uncertainty when planning for the future of beloved pets who may well outlive them. Dante's Den is a charitable organization, so in whatever capacity you can, please lend your support so that we may continue this most wonderful work.
Dante and I would like to thank you for watching and for also opening up your hearts to our wonderful community of joyful dogs.
Learn about the many ways you could become involved by visiting dantesden.org.
There are over 1 billion sheep in the world, with most of them living in China, India, and Australia. There's over 5 million sheep in the United States. Sheep are herbivores, meaning they eat vegetation like grass. And they like to stay close together in a herd, although groups of sheep are also known as flocks or mobs. While there were some exotic and not so exotic animals at the Nativity, there is definitely one strange creature associated with Christmas: the hippo.
There is a connection between hippos and Christmas.
Oh, okay, yes,
right?
yes, absolutely.
There's the hippo song.
I want a hippopotamus
There
for
you
Christmas.
go. Well, our entire crew has been singing that since we got to the Lowry Park Zoo.
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Only a hippopotamus will do.
But the hippo is kind of an unusual animal.
Absolutely, and it's a cool one for people to see, and especially when you talk about like the pygmy hippos, people don't get to see those very often. They always see the bigger hippos if they see them in zoos, so it's a neat thing to show people up close. So we're excited that you got a chance to see them.
So are we.
Not to be confused with the heftier Nile hippos, pygmy hippos are smaller than their cousins, weighing in at about 600 pounds, a fraction of the estimated 2 tons that their counterparts carry around. While the Nile hippos are more social, living in big groups, the pygmies are more solitary. They also spend more time on land, making their homes in the swampy forests of West Africa.
Now, we've been very fortunate to see Dagwood,
yes.
who is the dad.
Yes.
And the mom and the baby are swimming right now. But mom and baby are really not swimming, are they?
Correct.
They have a different movement in the
Yeah,
water.
it's almost ballerina-esque if you get a chance to see it from under the water, a little bit of prancing and pirouettes and things like that. So they're not really fully swimming, but for the most part, yeah, it's more of that hopping and jumping as opposed to swimming.
At Tampa's Lowry Park Zoo, they've just welcomed a new addition, Zuri. She was born on October 11th to Jaja and Dagwood and is the 3rd successful pygmy hippo birth in the zoo's history. Zuri is now the 30th pygmy hippo in the Association of Zoos and Aquariums population and will help keep the species going when she's older.
And just like her sister before her, she'll be paired up with another male down the line. They'll become mature at about 5 to 7 years. And so she might go out there a little bit earlier than that to start kind of pairing up with the male. There might not be any breeding, but at least that way socially she can start be accepting around that other individual. And then down the line, hopefully she'll have her own calves. And that way we can kind of keep that process going for that species survival plan.
How endangered are they in the wild?
They are facing some severe number declines in their native country, and so that's really going to put their numbers in dire straits. So luckily, thanks to zoos like ours, we're part of the AZA's species survival plan, which basically the easiest way to think about that is kind of Match.com for animals. The Association of Zoos and Aquariums recommends through the species survival plan what animals should be breeding with what animals, so that way we have a diverse gene pool with these animals.
So what is the hippo's daily diet?
Daily diet is mostly going to consist of a lot of roughage in the wild, so they eat a lot of hays and grasses that they would find on the sides of the riverbanks. They will also eat produce though, so if they get the opportunity to find fresh fruits or fresh vegetables along the way, they're going to eat those as well. Sometimes we'll have special food enrichments for them, so we might give them whatever their preferential treatment is. So for the male hippo, he loves to eat melons, so it might be a honeydew or a cantaloupe or something along those lines. For mom, she likes to eat peanuts, so she might get some extra peanuts in her diet that day, and that's kind of like their bonus Christmas present while they're out there.
So for these strictly vegetarians, why the massive size?
It's a little bit of muscle, a little bit of insulation there, so to speak, for them. So they're just a combination of different things. They're just very stockily built, is the easiest way to put it.
They're solid.
They're solid, absolutely.
I mean, Dagwood was solid.
Yes. He's a big boy.
Yes, he is.
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. I don't think Santa Claus will mind you.
You can learn more about Zuri, Jaja, and Dagwood and see them up close by visiting Tampa's Lowry Park Zoo. For more information and tickets, visit LowryParkZoo.com. While some animals tend to rely on one sense more than another, that's not the case with the pygmy hippopotamus.
They really are well equipped to deal with the natural environment, so they use their hearing to figure out where certain sounds are coming from for that fight or flight response. They use that smell to find out where their food is, and then they're still going to have a chance to use different tactile with the front of their mouth to try to figure out how that food is kind of going to go into that mouth. So they use basically all the senses at once, and there's not really any one that's stronger than the other that we can tell right now.
Next on Animal Outtakes.
And so that kind of gives you that whole question of, well, were Santa's reindeer all girls, possibly?
Reindeer girl power? The feature that may have you scratching your head about Santa's 8 tiny reindeer. And now, here's Bud and Lou.
So tell me again why we're up here in 30-degree weather.
We're going up north to play in the snow. Don't you want to have a white Christmas?
Yeah, I want a white Christmas. Do I have to have blue lips too? How far up north do you think we are now?
I have no idea.
Excuse me, boys, passing on the right.
What the heck was that?
I think it was a flying horse. He landed over there. Let's go see. Hey, horse, how'd you learn how to fly?
Well, I'm not a horse. I'm just a little old reindeer.
Well, how'd you fly with no wings?
Well, I don't like to name drop, but I happen to be one of Santa's reindeer.
No kidding. Which one?
Well, do you know the list of reindeer?
Yeah.
Well, I'm the last one on the list.
Let's see, there's Dasher, Dancer, Prancer.
Yeah, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donder.
Yeah, Comet, Cupid, Donder.
I wanna say Nixon.
What, like former President Nixon?
Yeah.
You think he was a reindeer?
Well, I don't know.
It's Blitzen.
No, that can't be it. Piston?
It's Blitzen. Trust me, I'm Blitzen. I'm one of Santa's magic reindeer.
Oh, and he's magic now, too.
Well, of course. How do you think I can fly?
Okay, Nixon. Well, we're gonna go play in the snow now.
Yeah, let's go build a snowman.
You want to see a snowman? Watch this.
Okay, so he's a little magic.
You really know Santa Claus?
Of course, I help pull the sleigh all over the place.
What's he like?
Fat. Speaking of which, I gotta get going. Nice meeting you, boys.
Yeah, almost done.
Wait, what are you sticking celery in his nose for?
You said vegetable.
I said carrot.
Well, what do I look like, a produce stand?
Guys, we need your help. Dasher and Dancer called in sick. We need help pulling the sleigh. What do you say? You want to be a part of the team?
Sure. Is this the neatest thing ever? Oh, what?
Well, I suppose if you have to work on Christmas, it could be worse.
Pygmy hippos are usually about 5 feet long and can be up to 39 inches tall when they're full grown. In the wild, they live roughly 27 years, However, that number jumps in captivity.
So in captivity, how long do they normally live?
We've seen studies go upwards of 40 plus years for pygmy hippos, so pretty good lifespan out there for them.
That's quite an investment.
Yes, absolutely.
When it comes to the ultimate Christmas animal, there's really no question. It has to be the reindeer.
On Dancer, on Prancer.
Yes.
And we have reindeers.
We do have reindeer.
Santa Claus has left them here in Florida.
Yeah, they're taking a little hiatus. They're taking a little vacation. They're a little too young to be pulling the sleigh right now.
So these are our reindeer in training
Yes.
for the sleighs. Tell us a little bit about reindeer, though. They look hardy, but they are slim.
They are. They're very hardy animals, though. They live in very, very harsh climates up in the Arctic tundra. So when they're up there, they're dealing with some really harsh elements, but their bodies are really built to be able to survive that.
Reindeer are native to Scandinavia and Russia, but can also be found in Greenland, Canada, and Alaska. That chilly climate has led them to adapt to the cold weather.
Their hair, for example, is very thick, and they have a thick undercoat, but then the outer coat has these long tubular hairs that help to keep them nice and insulated and warm. They also have on their feet are really cool because their hooves in the summertime, when the grass is soft and moist, their hooves are very soft, and so it gives them a little bit of cushion and keeps the traction. But when it comes to the winter, when they're walking on all that snow and that really hard, cold ground, then everything tightens up and gets really hard. It's almost like a snowshoe, and it creates an outer edge around their hoof so that they can walk on that ice, and it's a really cool thing.
One of the reindeer's most memorable characteristics is their antlers.
We've noticed that the reindeer all seem to have antlers. Is that male and female?
Yes, males and females. This is the only deer where both the males and the females have antlers like that. And so that kind of gives you that whole question of, well, were Santa's reindeer all girls? Possibly, because the males tend to lose their antlers first, and they lose them in December.
Perhaps the most famous reindeer is Rudolph, known for his bright red nose. While scientists speculate that anomaly, the reindeer's nose in general is pretty cool.
The way that their nose is built and their biology is in their anatomy, it allows them to be able to take in a lot of this air, and because they're in those really harsh cold temperatures, you got to be careful when you're breathing in that really cold air. And the way it works is the air is warmed up before it ever even goes into their lungs, and then when they exhale, they actually retain a lot of that moisture because it helps them to conserve water, because sometimes they're not going to have access to that. And so their nose really does help them to survive in that cold climate.
Now, come Christmas Eve, they have got quite a trip that they have to make.
They do.
So how do they prepare themselves? What do they eat? What do they drink before they go?
Well, they need to get a lot of energy. They need a lot of food, and so they're going to be eating all kinds of plants throughout the summer. They're going to be eating leaves and grasses and whatever kind of greens that they can find. And then when it starts to get cool and there's snow on the ground, well, what's going to happen then is they actually are able to eat these lichens, and they're one of the few species that do, and it's all this stuff under the snow, so they have to kind of break through the snow, and they eat the lichens underneath.
In the wild, reindeer live between 15 and 18 years old, but Santa's special crew has been around longer than that.
And you have the honor of taking care of these reindeer. What do they mean to you?
What do they mean to us? Well, I mean, these animals are so spectacular, and it's a great opportunity for people to be able to see them up close and see what all the talk is about. There's so many stories and poems and all kinds of tradition that follow reindeer throughout this time of the year. So for people to be able to come and see what that actually looks like up close, it's a really special experience. And so having these animals here, it really is definitely, it's an amazing thing to be able to see them.
And of course, as we approach Christmas so quickly, do you think they're excited? Do you think they know it's going to happen?
They are definitely excited. They're ready. They're ready to go.
You can meet the reindeer at Lowry Park Zoo's Wild Wonderland on select nights through December. You can see Santa Claus before he takes his big flight and check out those amazing light displays while visiting with the penguins and experiencing some Florida flurries. To see the full list of events and to buy tickets, visit LowryParkZoo.com.
We'll be right back with more holiday cheer.
How do we know it's reindeer on our roofs on Christmas Eve? Well, by the clicking of their hooves. It's actually something you can hear all year round.
The clicking is a tendon in their leg, and it snaps as they're walking, and what that really does is it helps them to determine each other's location.
So not only does Santa have an excellent guide with Rudolph, he's never in danger of losing one of his herd.
Well, that's it for this ho-ho holiday episode of Animal Outtakes.
Is that what it really says? Ho-ho holiday?
Oh, I thought you were Mr. Christmas Spirit.
Oh, I am. When do we open the presents?
Settle down, Lou. We hope you have enjoyed our look at these festive animals and learned a little something about them, too.
Okay. Now presents. I got a little something for you, Marsha.
For me? Oh, Lou.
Yeah, that's from both of us.
Oh, Lou, you really shouldn't have. I don't know if I can handle more than one of you. Just kidding. I love it. Join us again next week for another outstanding animal adventure.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, so there's a big mark in here.
Nothing like being upstaged by a llama, right? And you didn't go to the manger.
Here, Jafar.
Yeah. And here comes my friend.
Tony, yes.
Tony.
Yes, you can, Mama.
Yes. Oh, I'm getting big kisses. Oh. No, when, you know.
I think he's looking at himself.
Okay, so if you stay right here, we'll take your picture. Right here. Oh, now he's shy, right?